So we've got this gorgeous day outside. Not a cloud in the sky, no wind. So of course our power went out because that's just what it does. Yeah. So let's use the last of the battery life. I figure without all these distractions, pick another challenge lock. This one is a collaboration lock by Keyz and MCPINNING. And we're gonna try using the Matador. Just because I haven't used it very, just touched a pin and it popped a little bit. Yeah, it reaches up in there well. It's not a great fit though. But I've got the pick. I haven't really used, oh wow, yeah. So getting back to that last pin, not the ideal pick. It's very tight back there. Let's see what we can do with it. Need to put it through its paces. I don't know how these collaboration locks work. I guess people do like half the pins. I just dropped the one pin I set. So yeah, this guy reaches up there really well, but man, he's just a little too thick. You know, I wish they would make these monster picks in like 23 thousandths, or they came down on them a little bit. Some of these bigger guys would work really well, I think. Okay, that was 6 and 5. But yeah, I guess everyone does like 3 pins each or something on these collaborations. I don't know. I do have an idea for a challenge lock that is similar. I've been sitting on it for a minute. I think I'm going to start on it tonight. Found a pretty good candidate. Oh gosh. We're going to switch picks, I think. Yeah, you can see what happens is when he gets in the back, he jams up. Well, let's go back to the sweeper, or to the glide. See what happens with him. Just clicking our way through in and out of little false sets as we get rotation. Oh, just nudged a little bit. We had a deep false, but pin 3, I think it was, carried us right out of it. Every pin is getting some feedback. Just drop some stuff in the back. Get those put back in place. Do another reset. All right, let's get a little more serious here about it. Sorry, I'm getting quiet here. Okay, we've got our pretty good false back. I'll very carefully probe these pins. I don't think we're down to 1 pin yet. We're just, there we go, there we go. Come back to 2. 2's giving us a little bit more feedback. 1 is feeling good. It's 2 or 3 is feeling pretty good. Oh, is that 4? A few more clicks off of it. Come back up and check these guys. Just, oh, 1 is, one may have just overset. Hear all that progress undoing. Okay, there we go. So now we're down to what I would say is a 1 pin false. Oh no, I was wrong. Okay. Oh my goodness. Definitely some T-pinning going on here. Show you guys the false we're in. So yeah, I think we're down to 1 pin. We can just locate it. It's hard when all the pins want to give feedback though. One or 2 is giving us some counter rotation. I'm not quite trusting it. I'm going to go back in the back of the lock and just poke at it a little bit. Okay, it's got to be right up in there front then. That's the only place that we're getting any kind of feedback. My God, how much more can this thing false? Yeah, everything's feeling real good except up here in the front. Let's see, we're still getting little bits of feedback from it. Almost dropped the tensioner. We know something in there is hanging on by a nub. Let's switch back to the Matador. If it's up in the front, it should give us a good clean lift. Shit, I thought that was it. Pick is getting stuck in there. There we go. Whew. It was actually not up in the front. It was back there around, what is that? Say 4 maybe? 3? So this video is going to run a little long. Oh, we fell out of frame there. Scoot the camera back and do some readjusting. No C-clip to deal with, always nice. So let's show the pin. So there's our key. Got that big chunk in the middle, those big high lifts. And there's our Bobby Keyz and JP McPinning. Shim it. Should I? Yeah, probably. Am I going to? Well, we're okay without doing it. Okay, 6, I can already tell, has got a little reduction on it. Yep. 5, got some serrateds and a little reduced tip on it. 3 looks like serrated. 2, couple serrations. Ooh, one is quite clever looking if you fall into an overset on it. And we've got undercuts on 6 and 4. Oh, actually, we've got, yeah, so 6 and 4 have undercuts. I think 2 does as well, and we've got threading. We'll take a closer look at that when we get our camera flipped around. I don't even know. We're into that hybrid area of what do you even call these things? They've got serrations. They've got T-pin elements. They've got spool elements. Looks like we got a pin and pin that just fell out of there in 3. Oh gosh, oh, I just pulled apart another pin and pin. Wow, you guys kind of pulled out all the stops on this. There we go. All right. Get a couple of these loose springs out of here, and yeah, there we go. Okay, let's flip the camera around. I'll hope it's not too dark for you guys to be able to see, because yeah, some really neat pin work here. Okay, let's see what we've got here. Let's see the inside here. So we've got undercutting, alternating off, and we've got threading. Got this weird chip here too. I don't know if that was an intentional test or an accident. That's interesting though. Maybe if that's intentional. I mean, it almost looks like a mistake because you've got this little glide off here. But you know what? Chipping a few of these alternatingly might be kind of a neat idea for another one. So pin wise, yeah, look at this stuff. So we've got, there's our one driver, and you could easily get up into him and start to mistake him for still being on the driver. Let's get the key into view. There we go. Here's our number 2. Nice serration work. That's a nice little pin. I know it's not as crazy or fancy looking as the others, but still very nice. Ooh, very clean serrations on him as well. I like it. Number 4 key pin. These are just the key pins. Wow. I don't think you would end up, man, if you started climbing this pin all the way up through all those serrations, I think you should be noticing something's gone a little amiss. But that's some really nice work. And that little, look at the top on that guy, a little bit reduced and shaved in. That is very nice work there. And some kind of got a little bullety tipped and a couple little serrations to catch you there. Yeah, I feel like, you know, that's gonna slip up into that shear line. And it's gonna give you a little tad of counter rotation as it does, depending on when it hits. But it'd be pretty easy, I would think, to get hung up on one of those serrations. So above him, the number 6 driver, got this little spool guy going on. Very nice again with him. Yeah, look at that. You know, I wonder if makes me wonder, start going, I wonder if there's some palm reader out there going, oh yeah, look at your lifeline, you're about to go. And then we get into our pin and pins here with chamber 4. So this guy was down into the shear line. And this cap was on top of it. So let's see if I can get it orientated here. So yeah, he was like that with our shear line running this way. And he does not go all the way inside. So you've got this crazy act of like just a deep spool. And you can see the pin itself even falsets a little bit. We've got another one of these guys, sort of another one. Oh my gosh, look at that. It's got serrations on it. And so does that little guy. Wow. That is some neat work there. Not 100% sure how he went in. He was just kind of in there like that, free to float around. That's crazy. And of course, as he floats around and that moves up and down, you've got, it's almost like a variable T-pin element to it. You know, I got asked why I haven't done pin and pin yet on my challenge like pin series. Maybe I should film that since we have a couple examples out. You know, I try to talk about how to make pin and pins, and I'm not real good at making them. And that's part of the reason I've put it off on doing my challenge lock pin series. Oh, camera's got bumped a little bit there. Let's see. There we go. Oh, very nice. I love these kind of pins. It's very cool. You get that thick part in the middle, and it gives it that little bit of counter. You know, you drop into it and you think, okay, got a little bit of a spool. You feel that counter rotation coming out, and then you drop back down into like another spool element. It's really neat to play with. And I'm not sure which way he was in there though, unfortunately. I'll have to go back and check my video. I did pull him out correctly. Very nice work. Very cool little lock there from Bobby Keyz and JP McPinning. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. We're running over. Should we take a look at how they sit in there anyway? What the heck, right? In per penny, in per pound. All right, let's do that. So I had trouble getting 5 and 6 to kind of balance in there, but it gives you a rough idea here of how they were sitting in there. Pretty nice. You know, I would have loved to have seen 2 down in there just a little bit further. Those are such cool pins. And like I said, you can mistake them for having them kind of picked, because you expect a spool, you get past that hump, and it drops back down into a false, and you're like, okay, got it, move on to another pin. So those are really neat when they sit all the way down in there. But yeah, very cool. God, and that little guy on here, with those little serrations. And like I said, I don't know if it was intentional or not to have that notch there. If that's meant, because it is almost the size, it will catch. And it could be that maybe that just inner pin on 4 as this lock has been picked, chipped him out a little bit, but he would catch right in there. And that could be actually what we were hung up on at the end, because I thought I was finishing it up in the front, but it wasn't. It finished, I think I mentioned, back closer around pins 3 or 4. So that could have been our last little bit we were trying to get over. So there we go. Anyway, very cool lock. Squint, thanks for sending this one. That was fun. And thanks Bobby and JP pinning this up. It's a very fun little lock. So, all right, guys, hopefully the power will come back on. This video will get uploaded. You know, well, of course it's going to come back on eventually. But yeah, in the meantime, you have a good one.